Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin versus USD. We've had a lot of pump recently and we look to be having a correction at the moment, so things are looking quite interesting. Let's get into it. Right, so let's see what I said last time we were looking at Bitcoin. So this was last week. So let's look at what I said. I mean, if you look here, there's no resistance at all. Like between here and 13,200, there's just nothing. There's nothing there. So my next target really would be the 13,200 area. Right, so that's what I said this time last week. So let's have a look at the charts and look where we are at the moment. So we pretty much hit the nail on the head, really. We hit the 13,200 area. We did actually continue on up on that past 13,200, and we went all the way up to the 13,865 area. So we can see here that the Trend Smasher pretty much called this movement on the 2-day, which is what we're looking at the moment. Called it very well. We still have a green candle, so not all is lost at the moment. However, we did pump all the way up to 30,873. So looking at this chart, I did still consider that we have some potential up move still here. I don't think it's completely over yet for the bulls. However, these are some warning signs. We have pumped up quite a bit at the moment, and this current candle on the 2-day is starting to look a bit nasty. So this is how I'm looking at the two potential ways that this could play out, really. So I'm looking at this ascending channel here on this, and these are basically the two outcomes I see at the moment. So as I mentioned, I had the 13,200 area as the first target, so it'd be this area here. Now this is a very important area that we need to hold. Closing below this, I would start to get a bit cautious and a bit concerned. So the main goal really is to close above this level. We can see here that this is the monster resistance that we really need to break above of. This is the one which we did try to attempt to break up above of this time. However, we didn't quite make it. So we have been rejected off the top of this. However, the candle obviously hasn't yet closed, so this isn't yet confirmed as a rejection. But we have had quite a large move up here, and we are starting to see some bearish divergences. So we can see here on the volume weighted, so let me just expand this, on the 2-day. So we can see here that we're making higher highs in the price action, but lower highs on the volume weighted MACD. So that is bearish divergence. So that is a bit of a concern at the moment. Another concern of mine is actually that we've not had bullish volume really come in yet on the 2-day chart. We're still in a downtrend on the volume. However, we are kind of poking above that. So things could change, but at the moment we do have bearish divergence on the volume, which is another sign that we probably have some cooling off to do. Do I think we're going to be hitting this area? I do think this is a very easy target for Bitcoin, but I think right now we do need to cool off a little bit. We have had a large up move. The volume isn't quite there yet, and the volume weighted MACD also is not there yet. The RSI is overbought. So I'm bullish. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, But I think we do need to cool off a little bit, perhaps come back down, test this trend line before we move back up again. You can see that this is what I'm seeing here, this sort of play out. So this is what I'm expecting. I exited some of my positions at the 13,000 sorry 700 area. I'm still in my hodl position. I'm not going to be selling that in a bull market. However, I have deleveraged a bit in this area. I'm happy to buy back in if we break above this trend line here and get above this resistance here. But until then, I'm quite happy to take my profits, deleverage a bit, and just see how it plays out. Now, what I'm expecting is just a bit of a cool-off period on Bitcoin at the moment. I just think the volume isn't quite there yet. RSI is overbought. We have also pumped up quite a bit all the way up to here. Now, as you know, when we get to this sort of area, we usually tend to cool off and have a bit of a correction normally. We can see, if we look back in history, so if we go back to last time we were in the 13Ks, we actually pumped even higher than this top band here. So this is why I think it's not completely impossible that we go for 16,000. I think it's definitely possible, especially because we went so much over this top band last time that it's not out of the question that we target 16,000. I'm just more biased at the moment towards the short-term consolidation before the next move up, perhaps even a test of this bottom trend line before we power up past this. But I am bullish. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I just think we need a bit of a cool off a little bit before the next move up. I don't think we have the strength to go straight up to the 16,000 area at the moment. That's on the 2-day. So in summary, 2-day is still bullish. We're in an uptrend. We're in a strong uptrend at the moment. I'm just biased right now more towards just some consolidation and sideways before the next move up. I think there's definitely space to go higher. There's definitely space to hit 16,000, but I just think that we're going to have just a bit of sideways first, perhaps a test down here before we then go up and attempt to hit that 16,000 area. So that's the 2-day charts. So let's then have a look at, we'll look at a shorter time frame at the moment, taking into account the current dip. So let's look at the 2-hour time frame finally. So we can see here that we were extremely overbought. We're all the way up here. And as mentioned, we do tend to have corrections when we go up here. So we are in a correction phase. The candles are red at the moment, but we are in the middle. So we haven't quite lost it yet. But we are now printing red candles on the 2-hour time frame. So let's have a look. Price change oscillator is now broken below the moving average. RSI oscillator is moving below the moving average. Volume is also broken below the moving average. So this is another reason why I'm quite happy to deleverage around here. I'm going to wait for a green candle to close again on the 2-hour and for a close above this moving average before I really start re-entering my leverage positions. But I'm right now biased towards the short term cooling off before the next move up. Right, so let's have a look at, let's look at the candles. So although the short term candles are red, we are still long term biased to green. We can see here all three of these are green. So the trend is still up, just short term red on the 2-hour. let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. Index. Okay, so another thing about Bitcoin at the moment is that it's broken this trend line on the 2 hour. Candle's still green, but we have broken this trend line on the 2 hour, which makes me slightly more bearish on Bitcoin short term also. Let's just quickly look again on the 2-day. But on the 2-day, Bitcoin dominance, again, is still looking fine, still going up. So Bitcoin is still, it still looks like it's a better long-term play to hold Bitcoin than alts at the moment. However, short-term, bearish on Bitcoin dominance also. Right, so I think that's really everything I've wanted to look into at the moment with Bitcoin. So in summary, long term we are extremely bullish. The 3-day is still green. However, short term, I think we need some cooling off, some sideways action, or we do need to have, the volume does need to start kicking in before I think we're going to be going straight up to the 16K area. In the meantime, I'm biased more towards sideways and down short term before the next strong move up. So that's Bitcoin for today. If anyone has any questions, feedback, has anything that they want to suggest for the next video, then just put a comment down below, or you can message me at Smasher Crypto on Twitter. Alright then, have a good one.